Welcome back, comic collectors and diecast enthusiasts, to another episode of Curb's Garage. Happy Sunday. We got a rock and roll Sunday video for you today. We got a couple of guests. We got Ace Frehley on the left and Paul Stanley from the rock band Kiss. And this band, if you don't know them, they're from the 70s, kind of the first ones to dress up in this type of outfits and makeup and did this whole show with explosions and whatnot, and great marketing. They had these little dolls. They had just all kinds of Kiss stuff. They was on coffee cups. It was on T-shirt. They had everything Kiss, and they were huge in the 70s. They had songs like Detroit Rock City. They were from Detroit. They had another song, Beth, which is the drummer Peter Criss sang. They had I Want to Rock and Roll All Night, Party Every Day, and just a tons of songs like that. And actually, religious groups thought that they were Satan worshipers because of the S's on how they wrote that on the Kiss, and also how they dressed and stuff like that. So they got a lot of flack from the religious groups, and so this is on an AOK, which was a casting that came out I think 1978 as a black wall. And there it is on a premium. There's the band, and a pretty cool car. Here's the back of it. 1973, Decades of Decibels, to 2013. So that's pretty cool. And then, so here's Johnny Lightning. Looks like that's the original album. Came in this kind of packaging here. And you got Ace Frehley's funny car. Ace is the guitar player. I don't know if there really is Kiss funny cars in real life or not, but they also came in with these cards, and kind of like sports cards. It looks like there was 50, and you can kind of see there. So there were tons of these, and each one had a different card in it. So you got talking about the marketing, they just did crazy. So you'd want to collect every one of these Johnny Lightnings. This is number 44 of 50 of these. So pretty neat. Up next, and here's Paul Stanley. He's the bass player and the singer. Although it looks like he's holding a guitar right there. Oh no, he is the guitar. He was the rhythm guitar player and singer. Sorry about that. And this has the live album, number 47. You would think, being in a band, I would know better. Yeah, this is Gene Simmons. He's basically the leader of the band. He's the bass player, and he's famous for his big old tongue that he'd stick out. Another great album, Destroyer. There's his car. There's his image with his big tongue sticking out. Yeah, when they were in the 70s, people were all trying to stick out their tongues and act like they're him. This is Peter Criss, the drummer, kind of like a cat with his makeup, and he wrote a beautiful ballad called Beth. Yeah, if you've never heard these guys, check them out. They're pretty good, rock and roll band out of Detroit, and yeah, so that's that. And now another great band, Van Halen, and a great guitar player. This is Johnny Lightning. This is a zinger, and it is a tribute to Eddie Van Halen, who passed away maybe it was a year ago or so. And this paint job on this truck here is how his guitar. He had a guitar called Frankenstein, and it says C10 Eruption. Eruption was the name of a song, but it was more of a, I say a song, but it was more of a, what's the word? It's basically it's just his lead guitar playing through the whole song. There was no vocals or anything like that. Instrumental, that's what I was thinking of. Anyhow, this is the paint job that was on his famous guitar. And the guitar wasn't like a Les Paul or a Fender that he bought off, off the market or off the shelf. He called it Frankenstein, and he just built it with a bunch of pieces from different guitars and things and made his own. So really unique, and so this is really cool. I'm super stoked to find this. This will never come out of the package, nor will the other ones. Up next, another band that I'm fond of, The Who. The song "Who Are You?" Behind Blue Eyes, Among My Generation. So many good songs. Roger Daltrey is a singer, and Peter Townsend, the guitar player, crazy guitar player. He would do these kind of windmills, when he was swinging his arm around, playing guitar. They would first band to thrash their instruments and throw their guitars in their amplifiers and kick the drums all over the stage at the end of their set. So they were kind of the edge of punk rock, and a lot of punk rock bands like The Who. And there's a great movie called, what is it called? Can't think of it off the top of my head. Well, there's Tommy, which is a great movie, which is kind of a rock drama thing, and then Quadrophenia, that's the one I'm thinking of, about a bunch of gangs on Vespa scooters in the UK, which made the Vespas really popular here in the States. And then here is Led Zeppelin, also from the UK, and I don't know if you know about them, but they're probably the greatest rock band of all time, I would say. At least they're my favorite. And this was their first album, Led Zeppelin. You see the Zeppelin exploding. And I guess the folklore is that it was one of the guys from The Who that was talking to the guys from Led Zeppelin. They knew each other and saying that their band would go down like a Led Zeppelin, and that's how they kind of came up there with their name. Here's the second one in the set, Super Van. This is from the album 2, Led Zeppelin 2 cover. And I'll show you, there's the whole set. I happen to have all of them, so we'll see them. All great albums. This is my favorite album. This is Led Zeppelin 3. And you can see the characters. I'm not sure. I can tell. I think that's Robert Plant. That's Jimmy Page. And I'm not sure if that's John Paul. I think it's John Paul. And down here where you don't see is John Bonham, who's the drummer, who ended up passing away after these 4 albums, Alcohol, Poisoning, and he used to play a drum that was, the kick drum was about, it was almost like 4 feet tall, and anyhow, after he passed away, they stopped making records, and they kind of went their separate ways, did other projects. Every once in a while, they'd get together and do a show, but yeah, that was it for them. But I mean, Led Zeppelin, if you haven't heard them, I'm sure you guys all have, because you guys are all about my age. Yeah, could listen to them all day long. This was a lot of acoustic songs on this. Tangerine, Mama Says, tons of. It's a great album. All of them are great albums. You can listen to Led Zeppelin on just rewind all day. This is this one right here is Led Zeppelin 4, and this one has the old man. Their iconic album cover has their #1 song, "Stairway to Heaven." If you haven't heard that, that song was #1 rock song for decades. And the funny thing is, a band like it's a long song. It's like, I don't know, 7 minutes long or something like that, maybe 9 minutes. And a song like I think it's Teen Spirit, Nirvana, almost like a punk song. It's a grunge song, I guess, or grunge, but took over the 9-minute Led Zeppelin song as the #1 song. And I think it still is to this day. I'm not sure. I haven't really checked the charts, but that's just funny. Change of times. Now this is really cool. This is so this is their. They ended up having their own record company called Swan Song, and this is their logo. And so this looks like a tour thing. And the funny thing is that I have an event every year called the Kirby Classic. It's a surfing skating event, and I have T-shirts that I sell, and everyone's unique every year. And this year's T-shirt is Kirby Classic. We have a friend of ours that passed away, and I put in there, and there's the surf, skate music, and I'd have we'd surf in the morning and skate at this pool where my friend has his backyard, and several bands would play all day long, and so that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was my idea to have the font in Kirby Classic and the guy on there. And anyhow, that is Led Zeppelin. Up next is the Beatles. Now these guys, you all know who they are. Fab Four. There's only 2 left, Ringo and Paul. I believe this is from the Yellow Submarine. And not only was it an album, it was a kind of animated cartoon, which is super psychedelic and weird, and I never did get it. There's all kinds of weird characters, blue meanies and whatnot, but if you ever get a chance to see it, yeah, there's the Yellow Submarine, which I think Hot Wheels, they did a Yellow Submarine, and I decided not to add that to this video, just basically the package cars. Here's the White Album. I guess you know why they call it the White Album, because, well, it's white. And that was all they did. And I'm sure there's a story to it, but there's the Beatles, barely written. It's almost into ghostwriting and no artwork at all. I should have checked and seen why they did that, but there's that. This thing's pretty cool with all the white wheels and everything's highway hauler. Up next is this one here with the Beatles and this quick delivery. It's pretty cool, but my favorite album from the Beatles is Rubber Soul. And there's some of the others, Revolver. There's a Help. So these are some of the other ones that I don't have, this one or that one. But I do have Abbey Road, and it's pretty funny. This one you notice this is Paul right here. He's barefoot, and I guess, I don't know, one of the songs, I guess if you hear it, I don't know if you play it backwards or something, it says Paul is dead or something, and some weird stuff like that. But anyhow, supposedly that was a big thing at the time. And then Abbey Road, the studio is interesting. I've seen a documentary on it. It's not what I thought it would be, is a regular recording studio. It's almost like a big warehouse, one big room where the drums would be way back in a corner and everybody kind of played at the same time, not separated. So anyhow, that is it for my Rock and Roll Sunday. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you're enjoying your football. Hope you're enjoying your family, friends. Happy hunting. See you in the next video. Rock on.